Well, look where I'm at. Well, I came back out to see my friends at Danuser. I've been wanting to buy a post driver. I couldn't decide what to buy. I thought about buying a T7 Hornet. We checked it out. I don't know if I ever got the video up, but we checked it out kind of before they came out to production. I tried it out with a buddy of mine that does a lot of fencing. That's all he does is fencing. And I thought about a T8. I thought about, that's just the stuff from Danuser. Then I thought about buying a, what's it called? The iDig Texas. Sorry, the sun's behind me. The iDig Texas. I kind of wanted like that 500-pound weight class. Every once in a while I need to go to like an 8-inch wood post or something like that, but I'm really trying to fence with just 4-inch drill stem for my line posts and my corners and everything else. It's usually really good for everything that we have around here. And I kept looking at everything and I was like, well, I'd like to be able to take it and put it on my excavator. If I get another mini skid, I'd like to put it on it. I'd kind of like to run it on my tractor if I had, you know, like the third function on the front. And I kept looking at stuff, What do you think I came up with? I came up with something obviously Danuser uses, or builds, because I'm at Danuser. So, I bought a hammer. I bought a SM40. It's a non-tilt. It's kind of like the most budget you could get. It's bolted onto the skid steer plate. I believe you can. I'd have to talk to one of the guys inside, but I'm pretty sure you can unbolt this and you can bolt the tilt function into it. So if I ever wanted to put tilt on it, I could put tilt on it, I believe. I'll find out about that before we do the video. I'll go ahead and unbox this one again. I know the very first one I had way back in the day, I bought that one. I think it was the same as this. It's got the grapple on it, which if you're doing work by yourself, you got to have that grapple. And that's one of the other things with all the other ones. You can get the grapple on the other hammer style, the concrete breaker style. I wanted something that I could run with the tractor too. And this one, with the small motor that runs on this, it runs that chain drive, it doesn't take a lot of flow. So I could run this on the front of my tractor. That's one of the main things I wanted to do. I told him I wanted it to be loaded. That's my load. It's my weight kit. It's 200 pounds of steel shot. And you know me, in true Skidco form, I want to show you guys how to do it. So that way, if you want to know how to load your own hammer, I mean, I'm not trying to be cheap. They probably would have loaded it for nothing for me. And that usually does pretty good. I usually put a oh no one, like across the pallet or something, because that's bolted to the pallet. But we'll get up here and I'll show you. Oh, dang it. Put my finger right in it. I told you, there's always a spot. I've done that so many times. I think every time I've had one of these, I've done that. Okay. We're moving the F450 and this ain't budging. So I'd say we're good. Alright. I'm gonna put a oh no strap on it. Like, oh no, it's going. I'm gonna run one across the pallet somewhere or in between the pallet or something, just in case. Last resort, hopefully it'll hold it on, but that ought to go. And like I said, this is all smooth here, pretty good. I mean, it's going across that edge, but I've hauled a bunch of those home just like that, and haven't really had a problem. Nice grab hook. I mean, we'll kind of go over it. I've got a video of actually setting two up, I think, 2 different times. But anyways, I'll get my oh no strap on, we'll get home and take a look at her. do today is we have a brand new Danuser SM40 hammer. So what we need to do is, I don't know if you guys can see in there, that needs to come out. That weighs about 500 pounds, and the only thing that captures it into this attachment is this bar right here. Pretty easy, toolless. You unclip that, but in that box we're supposed to have 200 pounds of steel shot, and this hammer I got unloaded. I wanted it loaded, but I thought I would show you guys how you load a hammer if you wanted to load your own hammer, or if you already had a previous hammer that was not loaded and you wanted to load your hammer, you would see how to do this. So let me see if we can do this. I'm going to use the pallet that it came on. To assist us in doing this. Just need to get the shot off there. I need to find out where they get their stuff there. That stuff is amazing. I bought some on Amazon. It's not that great. I mean, I don't know what you expect from Amazon. It's never good. That's heavy. 200 pounds. Alright. We are going to try to tilt this. And I could very easily use the excavator for this, but some of you might not have an excavator. So I'm going to see if I can tilt this enough to get that weight to slide down here. I'm going to leave the capture bar in it for right now until I get the weight down here, and then I'm going to see if I can get it slid out. And then I've got a couple ideas to get it back in. I might go ahead and crib it up, and that way I can get the hammer, you know, down below it a little bit. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if I can even tilt this enough. We may end up having to bring the excavator out. So, give me a second. Climb back up in here. Oh yeah, weight's down there. And it got captured by our deal. Now remember, this is heavy. If you got a friend, this would be a good time to have a friend come by. I don't have any friends. Probably because I asked them to come by too many times. Now the ideal situation is I mean, I really want to just take this and pull it right up out with the excavator, and I may need to get it back in. But like I said, you guys may not have an excavator. What I think I'm going to do before I get too jiggy with it, well, never mind. I was going to crib it up first. I'm not going to worry about cribbing it up. I am going to get a bar and see if I can just pull this out, and then we'll stand it up and I'll show you how to get the shot out, or how to put the shot in. This is the first time I've done this, so bear with me. Don't get your fingers under anything. There's gonna be grease all over it. There should be. If not, you should grease it. I was not expecting the big giant stub on the bottom of that, but it ought to stand up on that. I'm gonna change the battery out. I'm gonna get some gloves on and some paper towels, because looks like I'm going to be messy. Alright, got an 1.1" socket, got an impact, a small pry bar, paper towels, sledgehammer. Let's see what we can get done. I haven't even attempted to move this thing. Oh, it's not working well. It slides really well on the grease. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, it's nasty. That is nasty. That's like getting all over your hands. Nasty. Whew. Oh. Outstanding. Oh, we still got more. Oh yeah, be prepared to have grease all over. This pallet's getting thrown away. Alright. Really strange sound. Very, very strange sound there. Alright. Remove your nuts. Take a pry bar. I don't assume it has to be big. There's silicone around the top side to seal this, so when you leave it outside or it gets wet, you don't get a bunch of water in there and your steel shot to rust it out, and then you probably bulge this and have issues. So you will need silicone to put this back on. Alright, sit that there. Well, that's not even remotely what I thought I would expect to see in there. I don't know what I expected. Scrape that off here after a little bit. Okay, let's show you what we got. We got a big giant hole that's empty. Alright. Okay, there is a hole down in the bottom, and it has, I assume it already has some steel shot in it, but you need to put a funnel in there and you need to fill that up first. I'm probably going to take my hammer and maybe beat on tap on the outside, get all that steel shot settled in there. But if you just go pouring your shot in here, it may actually bridge over that hole. You don't want to do that. Hopefully you can see the hole down in there. But there's a hole, pretty good size hole. So let me grab a funnel. We got four big bags of steel shot. It's 200 pounds. Oh boy, that's real tiny itty bitty. Huh. I'll show you guys, hang on. works out. There's our funnel. Just got a normal funnel. Everybody's got a funnel. If you don't, you can make one out of paper. When we Now they didn't tell me to do that part. My theory is I would assume that ought to kind of get that settled in down there. I would think. I don't know. It may not be necessary. I'm just trying to get that entire void filled up with shot if we can. Pretty small stuff. Support the bag, hold the funnel up at the same time maybe. I think I'm about full. That's working when I hit it. I don't think it's a wasted effort. I mean, maybe it doesn't need to be 100% like that, but bell. It's getting heavier. I mean, obviously, but That got quite a bit heavier there. Now for the quickness. Rip it and go. Let's see. I don't know if you can read that. 50 pounds. This is probably some kind of designation if you want to buy your own shot. This is just what Danuser uses. This came right from them. So you guys saw me picking it up there. I did buy this hammer. He did not give me this hammer. Bought the hammer, the shot, everything. Full ball wax. Hopefully it's not going to be top heavy and dump over. That would be wrong of it. Please don't dump over right now. Careful if you're doing this by yourself. This is 500 pounds now. Like right now, if this decided it just wanted to go, it would go. I would not try to stop it. I mean, inherently I'd probably try to stop it, but I would try not to try to stop it. It would be bad news. I'm just using Lexol. gonna seal around my bolts. You guys do what you want. This probably will not sit outside, but it might. So I don't know. Probably not needed. They didn't say anything about that. They kind of gave me the rundown on how they suggest to do this, so I wouldn't misinform you guys. They're the ones that told me about that little weep hole type of deal down in the bottom to make sure you get it. Torque to spec. About that, probably good. Alright. Clean off any excess. That's just me being me. Didn't say anything about excess. Clean off all my excess. I don't think it'd be a bad idea to caulk around those, so we did. Probably need to take gloves off and get another pair of gloves. Move that stuff because that is now really heavy. I brought this out, that really didn't work. Let me grab some more gloves. Alright, you guys, you please do this with a friend. Anyways, when you're done, put your capture pin back in. I found it! Right there. Alright. Probably make sure that you put your pin somewhere that you're not going to lose it. And these things are always crazy. They always confuse me. Put that in like that. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Oh, almost. Ta-cha! See? And now my OCD, like, I feel like I need to spin that around because they're not going the right or the same direction. Probably doesn't matter, but it does. Remember, you want to tap on that deal. You want to fill your little hole up in the bottom, the little weep hole in the bottom of it. You want to get it filled up. It took every bit of shot that I had, and it might have had maybe a 1/4 inch in the top, but when I tapped it, it dropped down a good 1/2 inch. So I would definitely say it was beneficial tapping it. That pallet's getting thrown away. I'm gonna clean up all my grease and stuff, and now we have a loaded hammer. The whole reason I went with this is the small motor. It doesn't take a lot of flow to run this little guy. So I don't necessarily think that I would try to grab this with a mini skid, maybe a big one. But with it being able to be unbolted, I can unbolt it from the quick attach plate. I could even make a mount real quick, and I could put this on the excavator, which granted the excavator has the same flow as this, but the tractor doesn't. And I'd rather do fencing with the tractor, except for driving post, because grabbing the post with the claw down there, with the grapple, I think my line of sight's going to be not great, but I would definitely rather fence with the tractor. Anyways, I'm rambling. We'll see you guys later.